Welcome to Anime Real Talk, where we share our honest opinions on anime, Japan, news, and much more. It doesn't matter if you're new to anime, if you're a casual or a complete weeb. Join the conversation here. Today, I'm your host, Ramin, and I'm joined by...
Taha?
And Russ.
Welcome back, guys. How you guys doing today?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, man. I'm excited for today's topic. I think it's going to be a good one. I think that we're going to blast out a good episode today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Very
talk about
optimistic.
today's stuff as
That's
well,
good.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm doing good as well. I just been, reading some articles. There's like a potential hope of a vaccine, but there was one article that I
right,
wanted
yeah.
to talk to you guys about.
Okay.
And it's related to the pandemic, but I feel like it's a group that's not really focused on that much, especially during the pandemic. And it's around anime voice actors, right?
Right.
And so apparently they're facing like a lot of dangerous levels of poverty, especially during the pandemic. And it's because they're using their savings, and during this time, they don't really have a lot of work. So I read that according to Japan's Actors Union, they
Mhm.
asked around 528 people, voice actors.
Yeah.
Like they surveyed them, right? And around 75% of them won't be receiving like payments for any live action performances that they did or
Wait.
had scheduled, but got
Oh,
cancelled.
okay.
Yeah. That was
Okay.
scheduled but not cancelled, as well as like
Damn.
vocal
Wait,
performers.
not cancelled.
Cancelled. They got
Or
cancelled because
cancelled,
of
yeah,
COVID.
right,
You'd think
yeah.
that they would write a contract that meant that if the person cancels like last minute or something, they can have some money.
Yeah,
They should have something like, but I guess they don't.
yeah. I think
because
it's
they
more
usually go through with
freelance.
it.
Yeah. I think it's definitely much more, I'm signed up to an agency and this is the work I'm getting, like here and there. It's a bit more freelance work. And apparently like 52% of the people they asked said they needed to dip into like their savings in order to actually like make ends meet. So yeah, it's actually
Damn,
like
man.
quite worrying. And even for the anime voice actors in particular, there are other kind of sources of revenue like concerts or
Yeah.
industry events or fan readings, meet and greets, live events were all paused as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah,
I would just start streaming. Why don't you
Yeah.
like someone needs to add them and get them to stream as their most popular character.
imagine that.
I think that would bring in quite a lot, but I don't know how their contracts work and how they work with their agencies.
Oh, that's
'cause
true.
I
Maybe
feel
they're not
like
allowed to talk
they
in
might not be
character.
allowed to do that, or they're contractually bound to not play the character outside of
That would be
said
crazy.
events.
Oh yeah,
which
that's a good point.
which I think is complete BS in a way.
They're copywriting your own voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of bullshit in my opinion.
Just imagine, right, watching like a COD stream and you hear fucking Eren Yeager like screaming when he
Screaming, yeah.
when he gets down
I mean,
or he
like,
dies.
I get the copyright bit and all of that, but it's the actor. You can't copyright an actor. Like when Harry Potter, for example, right? Daniel Radcliffe can't be copyright
Man, like
to
Daniel.
play Daniel Radcliffe in like SNL or shows where he can do skits as Harry Potter. Like
But
they're
do
not
they
gonna.
have-
Warner Brothers isn't gonna be like, yeah, sorry, you're not allowed to do that, mate. Like,
But do they have their voices copyrighted? Like, is that a thing?
I think it's IP, right?
I don't think it is
It-
for real acting or like real life live
No, no,
action
no, but-
acting.
The voice acting, are their voices, like, they're not allowed to do that? Or are we just freestyling here?
I'm assuming there has to be something in the contract for them not to be able to, or
Yeah.
they're
Nah,
not
man,
allowed
they
to.
must be able to. Come on.
I'm not 100% sure. Like, say, I think they could just do it as a fun thing where it's an interview and they don't make any money off of it. But if they start making money off of it and it's not contributing to said company that created the anime or said mangaka, or like their agency doesn't get any shares from, say, Twitch stream or something like that,
But I
then
mean,
I
it's
think
like
it's a
free
problem.
advertising. If you think about it, it's like free advertising for the show because they're that character.
I know it's something that I'm not 100% sure about, but I
Yeah.
think that with the industry that it is, the the these kinds of arts industries are a bit fucked up when they come to their contracts. They are very
Oh,
very shitty
yes.
contracts. If you don't read your contract properly, you're fucked.
Yeah, I
Basically,
think later in this
Yeah.
episode we'll delve into how fucked the Japanese kind of voice acting industry is. But before we jump into that, do you guys know like how much Japanese like anime voice actors make?
I'm guessing they make a lot, but
I
I'm
thought
not
they were
100%.
getting the bag.
Yeah,
Like it depends on the anime, right? It depends on how popular the anime is.
yeah.
I
I
guess.
think like once you have more experience and once you like make a few great characters and everybody
Yeah.
recognizes you, then obviously you're
Yeah.
making like a lot of money. So there was a
Drop the
voice actor.
figures.
Yeah, there's a voice actor for one of the most popular like anime. It was you know Evangelion, right? So
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah,
voice
yeah.
actresses, Megumi Hayashibaru, if
Oh.
that's how I say the name correctly. I think she voices like that. I can't remember the girl's name, but she has short hair, purple hair.
Yeah, Ray. It's
Mhm.
Ray,
Yeah,
isn't
Ray,
it?
that's the one. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. But in 2017, right, she got like 630K. So she raked it in, dude.
2017.
Bro,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Hold on.
630K.
By the way, it
600.
was Ray.
Okay, yeah.
I was right.
I thought so.
Wait, hold
Boom,
on.
boom. But yeah, but I think she has blue hair, so that's what threw me off when you said purple hair. I was like, fucking, who was that?
But six
But
six
yeah,
hundred.
that's crazy.
Look, 630K compared to how. This
Wait,
is in
is that yen?
2017, right?
Dollars. After it's converted into, dollars.
It's a lot of money. I'm not gonna say that it's not a lot of money, but compared to when did this anime came out? When
90s, fam. Oh, wait, it was
exactly?
90s,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
They were doing like
Almost
a
20
movie though,
years
weren't they?
later. Almost 20
Yeah,
years
and
later, and all she's made throughout is 670K.
oh no, in that year, dude, she made
Oh, in that
630K.
year. Okay,
Yeah,
now that makes
95.
it
Yeah.
different then. That makes it
Bro,
In that
different.
back
year.
then.
Yeah.
Back then.
She would have made a lot more back then, for sure.
Yeah.
Fam.
And I think it's
Imagine
like
she made that now. She'd probably make more now if she made
no
an
no
anime that popular.
yeah. She made that in 2017, so it was quite recent,
Just from doing one character.
No, I think she's been doing some other stuff, but like
Oh,
she
okay.
was
In
one of the
total,
popular
she made
ones.
670 as a popular actress. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
in that year, that's how much she made.
Right.
She is a paper chaser.
She's getting
That's
that.
pretty good. That's pretty good for 1
Yeah,
year. I
she's
thought you were
getting it.
talking about just for the one character from Evangelion
Oh, no,
throughout
no.
the time. Okay, yeah. No,
So
that makes sense.
if you're a cult character, popular character, you can get some money.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think
for sure.
like it's not as easy as like people think as well.
Oh, for sure.
Because
No.
Yuki Kaji, the voice actor for Eren, right? He's done
Mhm.
like a load of massive kind of other anime as well since he got
Yeah.
hit from Eren, right?
Yeah.
He nearly went broke when he was training to be a voice actor, right?
Oh, I
And he
bet.
actually like he had to take like a few like loans from his friend, another voice actor. It's actually the voice
Mhm.
actor for Suzaku from Code Geass. And even
Oh.
to this day, he kind of like pays thanks to him, saying, that's the guy who kind of like kept me going. And he literally he gave me money to kind of live while I try to make my dream come true, really.
Well, not
Right.
that we're voice actors, but I can tell how hard it is just from trying to get my voice to not sound so fucking monotone
Oh yeah.
on this. Because I had a problem where I kept, everything sounded super monotone. And I was like, oh, the highs and the lows, and like everything sounded the same. And
Yeah.
I get completely how hard it can be to control your voice, especially when you're in like a formal setting. Because
be
we're
a-
sitting with a mic in front of your face, it's hard to turn on. And
Yeah.
I think that's what makes
To-
a good voice actor. They can
to-
just flip.
Yeah, to be honest, voice acting is not that different from acting, in my opinion. Because I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of behind the scene voice acting like bits. For example, when what's his name? His name Hugh Jackman. That's it. When
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman does the voice, he does like bits where he like does dubbing for Wolverine's character, like when he's running or where he's like slashing and during the fight scenes. So there's a behind the scenes of him doing his voice as Wolverine, acting out in the studio while watching the clip or the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
it wasn't taken while they shot it, like the voice can't. They didn't record the voice when they were shooting it, but he was like voice acting, kind of dubbing over the screen, and he was
Yeah.
acting over it.
Yeah.
Or say the guy who played Rocket, what's his name? From Hangover, and that really good movie with Lady Gaga. What was his name again? The guy who played Rocket from Guardians of the
Oh,
Galaxy.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. I didn't actually know it was Bradley
Oh.
Cooper.
You mean
Until-
Rocket Raccoon? I was like, who the fuck
Yeah,
is
Rocket Raccoon. Yeah, from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I was like,
I didn't.
Rocket,
I
like,
didn't.
what is he talking about?
I didn't know it was Bradley Cooper until I watched the behind the scenes.
Yeah, I didn't know that, man.
And
Same thing
he's
for me.
actually acting out the whole movements of
Yeah.
the character in the screen.
Yeah, and
So
I
he's
think,
voice
like,
acting. He is actually voice acting in a sense, but he's
Yeah.
still acting as an actor, and that's what they do for voice actors. They're still
Yeah.
just acting, just not with their faces on the screen.
Yeah, and like once you brought him into the picture, right, Rocket Raccoon, that made me automatically think of the Pokemon movie. So Ryan Reynolds does Pikachu, right? And
Yeah.
he's literally just
Oh, in
acting the
the-
same
yeah.
way, so much like expression and whatever. But I do remember seeing like a random YouTube video pop up, and it was basically the voice actors of Attack on Titan, and they were on like a reality TV show, like a Japanese one, and
Yeah.
they were just like literally talking very, very polite. Like I didn't even know he was like Eren. Like,
Yeah.
He's just like a
You
normal
can't
like
tell.
Japanese guy, and then like they bring him up on stage, right, and then they're like, "Oh, can you do the performance?" Because there's a bit of subtitles, and then he just starts fucking screaming like Eren. I'm like, damn, this guy, he can literally just like switch it from like 0 to 100 like real quick.
Have you
But
seen
yeah.
the clip of the Japanese voice actor for All Might, where he's doing
Oh
the
yeah,
the big
I've
fight
actually
scene?
seen a couple clips of All Might.
Yeah, it's
His
the same
actual
thing.
voice to All Might voice is so different.
Yeah, it's
They're
crazy.
like two
it's
different
crazy.
people.
He just flips a switch and he just changes into that
Yeah.
person, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that Ramen was saying. When he's doing it, he has to, because you have to like amp up yourself to start screaming like you're fighting. You kind
Yeah.
of have to get in that mindset. So he like goes down, like almost does a squat, and he starts just like screaming plus ultra and stuff from.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy stuff watching them do it.
It's because they have to do the same kind of motions as what they're watching on screen
Yeah.
when they're in the booth, putting the voice into the recording. They have to do the same movements. They can't. They don't just like stand around and they're like, ha. Like you don't get enough.
Well,
you don't get that.
some
You
of
don't
them
get that
do.
emotion. I'm not a
Yeah.
voice actor, so I have no idea how to do that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I barely know how to like put on an act. But
Yeah.
like they have to they're actors, but just not on screen. That's why
Yeah.
they're called voice actors. They're the same kind of entity as people who do movies or are in Hollywood movies or like actually are physically acting in movies. They're in my opinion, they're exactly the same to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking before we dive into, like the good voice actors and like the terrible voice actors, I was gonna do like a quick overview of like the system in Japan for voice actors, especially in the anime industry.
Yeah. How does it
'Cause-
work?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I researched it and it was fairly interesting. Like I never knew it was this in depth. But essentially a voice actor in Japan or a voice actress, they're known as a sayu. So that's the Japanese term for it, right? So if you hear me saying sayu, that's what I'm talking about. So once you debut as a voice actor or a voice actress,
Right.
you essentially debut as a junior sayu, okay? And this is like
Okay.
a junior voice actor. And you have to work as a junior sayu for 3 years. Like you have to do that. That's like a mandatory thing that they have in place, right?
Makes sense.
And it's known to be very, very, very tough because you barely make any money, right? You're not paid for public appearances. If like the anime gets reruns or DVD releases, you don't get any payment from that. You're kind of just seen like a
What?
subclass, like once you debut, right?
Wait, even if the anime that you're in blows up.
Yeah. So if you're
just a
if you're a
glorified
junior
coffee
sayu,
boy.
you don't really get paid for it. Apparently, a lot of junior sayus like struggle a lot, right? And in terms of like actual payment for like a 20-30 minute episode, like an anime episode, right? You get around 15,000 yen, which is
150
basically
quid in it.
$143.
What?
Yeah, like 122 pounds, right?
Mad.
And you have to think about 20% of that goes to the talent agency that's representing you.
At least 20.
Or 20% is like the stamp.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that the industry?
yeah.
The cap.
Yeah, it's pretty peak. And basically after those 3 years, that's kind of like your probationary period, really, right? Some people leave,
Too long,
but if you
man.
do stick it out after 3 years, you literally get promoted to F rank Seiyu.
F rank.
Yeah. So they have rankings, okay? They have
Oh.
literal ranking systems for voice.
Wait, F is like as
actors.
in the lowest.
Yep. So F's the
Fuck.
lowest, and it goes from F to A, or 15 to 1. All right. So it's like the same kind of scale, but the lowest is the F or 15, and the highest is A or 1.
I'm
And there's
upset that this doesn't go to S rank.
oh wait,
That's
there's
really
there's
bad.
actually people who are above the ranks who literally
Okay.
negotiate their own salaries and their
Okay.
own pays. So
So
like the
they're
ranking
S-ranked.
doesn't even apply to them.
Okay.
Yeah. And so once you kind of like once you get to become a junior SIU, right? You're still on that same salary of like 15,000 yen per episode, which is 122 pounds. Whereas like an A rank SIU, they can basically get around 45,000 yen, which is around 325 pounds per episode. Yeah. And then obviously if you're above this, like you're someone that's really, really amazing and you can negotiate your own fees, you can like earn as much as you want, really.
Wow. But if
Yeah.
you really think about it, one episode's 20 minutes. But it probably takes a lot longer than 20 minutes to record it. So you're
For
doing
sure.
probably I mean, think
A
about it.
whole
Like some
day.
animes are 12 episodes. So
A
you're
whole
getting
day.
that's not even that much money.
Yeah.
It could take up to 8 hours a day, most likely, to finish a whole, say, one episode. Honestly.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
And some agencies, right, to kind of like battle this idea where you only get paid like monthly, or no, not monthly, you only get paid for your episode. They've started to basically we'll give you a monthly salary to the junior levels. So essentially they can focus more on their work instead of, about money and like worrying about if they're going to go broke.
Okay,
Which
well,
is
that's
good.
That's good. And yeah, like you said, right, it's not a lot of money that they're making. But a lot of the anime voice actors, especially in Japan, their main income is actually not from anime, right?
What's
So
Side jobs.
it was really interesting to see here like where their main income comes from, and the most paid one is apparently voicing pachinko machines.
Oh, because they have anime themed pachinko machines too,
Well,
right?
it's the voice actors, right? So they can just voice it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So to explain to people at home who might not know what a pachinko machine is, you disgusting casual. It's basically the only form of gambling in Japan. Gambling is not allowed. So they have these machines that are half pinball machine, half video game, half noise, and
Noise.
literally just noise. You'll see when you go to Japan, you're gonna walk
I
past a
still
pachinko
don't
parlor.
understand it how it works.
I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
So I don't think even Japanese people understand how to play it. I think you just go in and basically a pachinko machine will take in these metal balls. So you have these little metal like marbles. You put them in the machine and those are equivalent to money. So you buy them and you exchange them for money. So it's basically like a slot machine, really. That's what it is. It's a slot machine that you get to play pinball on.
Yeah, and you try
And
to
then
like,
some
get as many like balls as possible, right?
Yeah, exactly, because they're money. So you're trying to get the jackpot amount of these metal balls, and then you exchange them for prizes. You can exchange them for food. You can usually, I think, walk down the road or to the back of the pachinko parlor, and there will be a place where you can exchange the balls for straight cash. So that's how it kind of gets around the gambling, because the balls belong to you and they're buying them back from you for money. So you're not gambling and it's not. So that's kind of how they get around it. But my God, man, I went into one because I really wanted to try it. It was such a thing that I wanted to try when I went to Japan. And I got in and I stood there for 30 seconds and the noise was so loud and the amount of Japanese people that just turned to look at me like, you fucking walk back out those doors right now. You can't come into our house. I was like, damn, okay. I'm gonna just leave it until next time I come when I'm more comfortable here. When I've been here one time, I've looked around and I was like, the thing is that you can tell those people are in there for days. Like the guys will have a few chairs out, leg up on the chair, fucking smoking a cigarette. He's got his drinks, he's got his food in there, he's just chilling, and they just spend the whole day in there.
It's
Oh,
so
damn.
weird, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's a wild thing that we do not have in the West.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently that is like their most like highest paid, but obviously other ways that they get paid is video games. So
Oh
when
yeah,
they
yeah,
do
yeah.
voice acting
Right.
in video games, it's actually quite profitable for them since they get paid per word.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
What?
That's how it
Yeah,
works.
that's why, you know, like sometimes the story in a video game is so shit, especially when it's Japanese. It's because they're literally paying like per
Per
word.
word. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And yeah,
Wow.
some others are foreign movie dubs, you know, doing some radio work and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, doing some books, modeling, YouTube. They try to essentially like span as many sources of income as they can.
Mm.
But I think like one of the key kind of quotes that I find interesting around voice acting is from Daisuke Namikawa. He's a famous voice
Yeah.
actor, right? And in an interview, he basically said that roughly 300 out of 10,000 voice actors actually live off like their dream voice actor jobs.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
300 out of how many?
10,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite small, and I think like it's just like amazing for me to like get my head around this is because voice acting is so important to an anime, right? For
Yeah.
me, I think voice acting can make or break a show. It can make and break
100%.
that character.
100%.
And
Sure.
if it's done right, you don't really notice it. But if it's done bad, then you know straight
You
away.
definitely noticed
Yeah.
Right.
it, yeah.
And obviously if it's done amazingly, then like you'll definitely notice.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any like good voice actors that you can remember?
Yeah, I mean, one of the OGs is Steve Blum. He's the voice actor for Spike and Mugen in Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. So he's one of the OGs. He was like one of the first English dubbed voice
Oh,
actors or
dub, yeah.
voice actors in general that I ever learned their
Mhm.
name because I was like, this guy's voice is amazing. Like he's just so good, but there's not that many Japanese ones that I know off the top of my head.
Yeah. In terms of like Japanese good voice actors, obviously, you know, you have like the big guys like Eren Yeager, you know, Yuki Kaji. He's also done like Todoroki in My Hero Academia. It's interesting to
Oh.
see how they do like a lot of different works as well. Because the
Yeah.
guy who voiced Eren, basically he voiced Todoroki, he voiced Sonic from One Punch Man,
Mm.
and even
Oh.
Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins. So it's quite interesting. But I think one of my favorites is probably Daisuke Ono. He voices Jotaro in JoJo.
Oh, Jojo,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, and Sebastian from Black Butler. So yeah,
What a voice.
his voice is amazing.
Pretty cool.
Oh, and he voices Erwin Smith from Attack on Titan.
Yeah, he does. You're
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
And
yes,
Erwin
I've read
Smith is
about
like
that.
such an amazing character, you know, even like the way he's like shouting in the battles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only Japanese one that I know off the top of my head is Miyaki. I don't know how to say the last name, but he's the guy who does All Might.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's the only guy I can remember off the top of my head because
I've heard and I've seen like him a
It's
clip
just
of him
crazy,
like
man.
talking and then playing the character of All Might. It's crazy.
Yeah. Do you guys know the voice actor for Naruto?
No, I
in
is it a
Japanese I
woman?
don't.
Yeah,
I do
so
in
in,
English.
It's a woman,
Japanese,
right?
right,
Yeah.
it's Jun Takechi, and it's a woman, right? So, so me and
Yeah,
Russell
yeah.
actually we were speaking
I knew
about this
that.
before to one of our friends, Benji, and he didn't even know that it was voiced by a
Yeah,
woman,
he didn't know
and
it was
it
voiced by a
literally
woman.
blew his mind,
Yeah.
and this was literally today as well, and he was
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
"Oh my god!"
nice.
Yeah,
And
we were just talking about Naruto because he watches a lot of Naruto, and I was talking about how in English the voice actor's a woman, and he was like, "No way!" And then Tal's like, "Yeah," and in Japanese it's a woman, and he was freaking out.
Usually, because in One Piece, Luffy's played by women in both
Oh,
Japanese and English
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, and then Goku's a man in English dubbed, a guy called Sean Skemmel. He's a
Yo,
legend voice actor as
he
well. He does the same thing as the All Might guy. So there's clips of him being Goku and screaming
Bro,
and just flipping a switch.
I love the English dub for Goku.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind the the Japanese version of
The
Goku.
Japanese version's a woman. So
Yeah,
that's the
it's
difference.
a woman. That's the but the English version you can just tell he just sounds like it just makes Goku sound like a handsome man. It's a handsome man's voice. Like when you hear that voice, it sounds like a handsome man to me.
Yeah, like I know that feeling because
I
like
can
some voice actors, right? They
yeah
literally have like a type of character that they play, like either evil or like a
yeah
cool
Yeah.
type of character, and you can
like
always kind of like always like you remember that voice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can play like a short clip for you
Yeah,
guys
yeah, go on.
to kind of imagine what I'm saying because when you hear his English dub, Goku's English dub, it just sounds like a handsome guy. I just play like a short clip of it right now.
Yeah, go on.
All right, I get it. I was only trying to help. Give me a break. Not that kind of break, man.
Mama's trying to hand him a Kit Kat, you know.
Yo, what was that? Was that like a tiger, or was he fighting a
No,
monkey? Or
it's in the episode where him and his family are supposed to go somewhere in like suited booted really nicely, but he goes to the dragon or the dinosaur's egg nest and tries
Yeah.
to save the eggs, but the what triceratops? I don't know what's the flying dinosaur called.
pterodactyl.
Yeah, pterodactyl is
Yeah.
like trying to stop him from uh get the eggs, trying to protect the eggs himself when Goku's actually trying to like save the eggs from another
Okay.
monster.
Um,
Yeah, it's just
do
that
do you
crazy.
guys have any other clips like Russell Ramen of any like good?
I have another one
Yeah.
of Goku, but the Japanese version, and you can hear the difference. Like because I used to watch when I lived in Austria, I used to watch them in German subs, so I'd watch it in Japanese.
Oh man,
Like
that must have
voices.
been weird. Oh, German subs. I thought you said German dubs. I was
Yeah,
gonna
No,
say
no,
it's German dub. It'd be
German dub was
so
about to be
German
mad.
so
German
monotone or
subtitles.
just like screaming.
So because I don't think that there wasn't as much dubbing going on for anime, especially in the early 2000s. If it's not English in other languages, it's pretty difficult to dub or get a kind of demand for it, right? So I watched it in subs.
Except for
And
Spanish.
Oh yeah,
Spanish
so
had a
much
big.
Spanish dubs.
There was a lot of Spanish, yeah.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Yeah, there's a
when
lot.
I moved here, I realized there was a lot of Spanish.
There's a lot of Spanish anime or anime dubbing. That's probably the biggest dubbing industry outside of English or language is probably Spanish.
Yeah, but when I used to listen to it in Japanese all the time, and then when I obviously came to England, when I moved to England, I didn't know where to watch anime in subs because everything that they
Yeah.
played on TV was dubbed.
Yeah.
But Dragon Ball Z definitely was the one favorite that I watched in dubs before I figured out how to watch subs online. I would watch it in dubs because I had no problem with the voice actors. Obviously, it's a complete difference between the English dub and Japanese voice
Yeah.
actor. And I just like play a clip and you'll be able to hear the difference very clearly.
交渉だぜ。
心配すんな。お
That's
めえには
Goku.
まだ海王権は使わねえ。
海洋圏。
Yeah, that like short clip where he says Kaioken, that's actually the voice actor of Goku. And it's a woman. And you can tell the difference between
Yeah.
the two.
Who would
one
win the
sounds like-
fight? Straight up, who would win the fight? English dub voice actor
I
versus
would
Japanese
say-
dub voice actor?
I would say English. the Japanese one, it kind of sounds really. Sometimes it's a bit annoying
Yeah, I know what you mean.
for me because it's just very like crackly.
But you're
and
you're used to
older.
you're used to the
But-
English one, right?
Yeah, I started to watch it in English, but then I went back once I found out a way to watch it in subs again. I went back to the original because I just prefer watching it in its native language. A type of movie or drama or anime in its native language rather than watching it in English.
Yeah, because I have
the
friends that refuse to watch Dragon Ball in English. Like they will only watch it in Japanese.
yeah, because the subs have more context. It's the original script of the character. What these are the original words that the characters are saying, but the dub kind of sometimes changes it. Obviously, the dubbed in English for the Dragon Ball Z was done so well that they didn't actually change much or censor much. But I prefer to watch it in its original and get the real meaning of it.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't really have any friends who still watch Dragon Ball. Like, obviously in high school, secondary school, a few. After that, yeah. But like nowadays, like I don't really know too many people who watch Dragon
Well, it's
Ball.
still ongoing, right? So they had
Yeah.
the Super Dragon Ball Super that was out recently, and I have friends that were watching that.
Yeah. But yeah, Russ, do you have any clips? Because I have some really bad,
I have
horrible English
I have some
ones.
really bad ones, but
Yeah.
I've got one good English one. This is Steve Blum,
Yeah.
obviously from like one of my two favorite animes.
Forget all that formal crap about coming at me one at a time. I'll take all you bitches on. Oh, yeah!
And Kitsuki Island shortly after that.
So is that the
What
guy
was that?
for Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, so that's him being Mugen, and he's in
Okay.
a bar fight basically, or in a restaurant fight. But
Fair enough.
his voice is just, it's like a golden voice, you know, those radio presenter 1950s golden voices. He just has that voice, and I think it's so noticeable. No matter who he voices, you can tell he's voicing that guy.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And it's the same thing. There's this one guy called Johnny Young Bosch. It's
Oh,
a really
yeah.
weird name.
I
but
know
he's
him.
the guy. Yeah, he does Lelouch, and he does
Ichigo, yeah.
and he does a bunch of other cult like huge characters. He did Canada in Akira,
Oh,
Oh,
in
okay.
the English dubbed, obviously. But yeah, he's done so many.
Yeah, his voice is pretty good.
Yeah, he's got a good voice, and it's another one that even though sometimes he's not doing the exact same voice, you can still hear it's him.
Yeah. And have you guys played like Final Fantasy VII, the new one, the remake that they did?
no.
I haven't.
Oh, okay. So the main voice actor for Cloud, he like his voice sounded very familiar to me, and like I really like his voice. Like it suits Cloud perfectly. And then I researched like who's the actual voice actor, and it's an actor from Teen Wolf. If you've seen Teen Wolf, I was like, what? Like,
What, the English one?
Yeah, the English one, like the Final Fantasy VII. Yeah.
Which actor from Teen Wolf? Because I watched it.
I think his name is Cody.
Cody.
Yeah.
One sec.
It just sounds like a Teen Wolf character name.
Wait, as in the character's name is Cody, or the
Yeah.
actor's name
I
is
think
Cody?
the character's name is Cody.
Cody Christian. Who the hell is that, bro?
Or just search up like Cloud Final Fantasy VII voice actor. He's probably
Yeah,
recognizable.
I'll search that up later. But
do
now that you were talking about recognizable voices, I forgot to mention the actress who plays Goku. What's her name? Masako Nozawa. She actually also voiced Doraemon.
Oh wow, okay.
She's the voice actor of the character Doraemon from the anime Doraemon.
Wait,
And
so
she's-
I've never seen Doraemon, right? Does he actually speak?
Yeah, he does.
yeah, he does. He
Oh,
speaks.
okay. I thought he was like
speaks.
one of those mutes that just
No,
like,
no,
runs
no.
around. Is like, like, yeah.
No, he speaks, and she also voices. I don't know if you guys remember, but it's Dr. Kureha from One Piece, the doctor who's with Tony Chopper.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched the anime. I'm kind of reading the manga.
Oh,
So,
okay, yeah. That's the.
Oh, you're
that's
one of
also
those guys
another.
now, Tyler.
Yeah.
I took a dip
She
recently into One Piece manga.
she voices.
Oh, I don't
that
watch the
character.
anime. That's for plebs. I only read the manga. Sorry.
Yeah, she's actually done a lot of voices. Like she doesn't just do Goku. She does Gohan, Goten, Bardock,
yeah, that's
Gotenks,
right.
and Vegito. She does
Oh,
all of
man.
those characters.
Oh yeah, because I suppose they probably mash both the voice actors together to do that, or does she just do it on her
No,
own?
she does. Masako Nozawa does the characters for all of those characters from Dragon Ball Z onwards. But because those characters were not present in Dragon Ball, the very first anime, she only did Son Goku. And then from Dragon Ball Z, she started doing all of those other characters. And you know how you were talking about the guy, what's his name, Sean Schemmel? He also
Yeah.
does the voices in all four of the Yu-Gi-Oh series
Oh, really?
in English. Yeah, he does it for Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh GX, Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds, and the new one Zexal, which I've never watched. I've watched up
Oh, yeah, I
until
didn't watch the new
5Ds,
ones.
and then I stopped watching after 5Ds.
Yeah, I think most people probably got too old for it at that point.
Yeah.
But he does the voices in the Yu-Gi-Oh series as well, which I thought was really cool.
All
Like
right.
a cool bit of information I could share.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall I now show you guys some really horrendous English
Oh,
voiceovers?
please.
Dubs?
I'm waiting to do this.
Okay.
Go
okay.
on then.
I think it's probably going to be the best part of the segment. So the first anime, right? I think a lot of people probably know this one, or they've heard about it for its notoriously shit dubbing. Is Voltron. So it's like the old Voltron. I know Netflix have like a new version of like
I've
Voltron.
never watched it.
Yeah, I haven't either. But for the dubbing, I like researched a bit and I was like, wow, this is some really shit dubbing. So I'm gonna show you like three or four clips.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just gonna load the first one up real quick.
Who's going to get to play the part of the lucky young guy?
Come, fight for your princess. We'll see who wants her the most.
Sounds like
This
Arnold.
is sounding a bit R-rated, man.
Sounds like Arnold. All right, listen to this, yeah.
When I get bigger, I'm going to be a space explorer just
What the?
You're only a little girl right now, but I'm sure
It's a
you'll
kid.
make it. If that's what
There's
you
supposed to be
really
a girl?
Yeah.
I don't really have to get a lot bigger. Okay, just space.
Yo, it sounds like Yoda.
They did
Yeah.
not give
Oh.
a shit.
Okay, I'm gonna show you another one. All right, this voice here, right, is absolutely horrendous. I don't know how they got this guy for the voice acting.
Hope,
Things to do, huh? Sure you got things to do. Like steal people's pets and eat them.
what?
What is this?
Yeah. It's Voltron, like the really, really old Voltron.
Did they try in the English dub?
I
Like,
don't
is
think
the,
so.
is the Japanese good?
Oh god, that sounded exactly like him. Alright.
Is,
Oh.
Alright,
is
there's
the
another
Just hold
Japanese
your
any
nose.
good?
Huh?
Is the Japanese version any good?
No
I'm
idea.
sure it must be better than that. Surely.
Vultures may not be very attractive, but they gave us a hand and we should be grateful. I'll always think they're beautiful.
Fuck's sake.
I always think they're beautiful. It's like
Why
some
does he sound-
Scottish. But yeah, I think this one's the
German,
funniest,
German.
right? It's basically one guy. He's voicing three girls in the same scene.
Okay, I'm
Alright.
excited.
Just see if you can clock. Okay. Hold on, let me just get it.
I wish you hadn't told me now. I wish I had listened to it and then you told me that was
Yeah.
the same guy.
Alright, wait.
It's hopeless. We mustn't give up hope. There might be a way to escape from this horrible place if we could just think of a way to open that door. You're mad. Escape from here. I'm crazy. I could do anything.
Is that him as well?
It's the
I
same.
think
You
that
can
was his normal
tell.
voice.
You can tell it's the same person, and they all sound like guys,
Yeah, they all sound like
young
men,
boys.
and
They
all
do not sound like
him.
women.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's,
man.
it's crazy.
This guy
And
tried
And
to.
the
this
thing
guy,
is,
yeah, go on.
go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. This guy tried to pull a Masako Nozawa like bit where, because obviously she had to do Gohan, Goku in the same scene quite a lot. So like he really tried to do that. but
Yeah.
Oh,
flop.
it's like Rick and Morty. They're voiced by the same actor.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
same
like
as Family Guy.
professional good stuff. Yeah, yeah. What's
Yeah.
his name? The creator of Family Guy. He's the one.
Seth
who,
MacFarlane or whatever.
yeah, Seth MacFarlane. He's the one who voice acts a lot of the
He
characters.
does like everyone.
But he's really
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
He's really
but
good
this
at it.
guy was he was trying to be that guy and he just couldn't do
Just no way.
it. Oh my god.
This
so
ending, though.
bad.
You're mad. Escape from here is impossible. I'm crazy. I could do anything.
I'm crazy. I
What-
could do anything.
What accent is that? Is this
I
like a
have no idea.
German and New
Yeah.
Yorker Italian kind of mishmash of shit? Like, what the hell happened there?
Yeah. Like if anybody could tell me, I would be very, very glad.
I tried to-
But that was Voltron. I have like 2-3 more. So I'll do one more, and then I'll let Russell do a few of his, because I know he's got some specially prepped. So the next one,
Yeah.
right, is from Devilman, and this is like the really really old Devilman. So obviously the Netflix
Yeah.
one that was released a couple years ago, or last year actually. It was obviously the latest, but this one is like maybe 1990s or early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna. All right.
I just can't. Yes, you fucking can. You're not tough or brave, just fucking stupid. I'll have to knock some sense into you. Fuck you.
What is this anime?
We had an accident earlier.
I don't give a shit. This is very important.
It's okay for me to wear my shoes in here.
I don't give a shit.
It possesses special magical powers.
Can I wear my shoes in here? I don't give a shit.
Wear the demon skull. No fucking way, Rio. I'm out of here.
Yo, please. Is this an abridged version or is this the real thing?
Is this the real one?
This is the real dub. This is really how they recorded
Yo,
it.
I'm having trouble understanding whether you're playing a different anime or the same one as the last one, because they all sound the fucking same.
I wouldn't be
They
surprised.
all sound the same. Are they the same people acting in both of these? Like, the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like they're not even trying anymore.
This next scene is essentially when he goes into his like Devilman form. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely simple. Then somehow we fucked up. Call me Devilman.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he tried to put something in there. He tried to do something with the Devil Man. Props to him.
Yeah.
Oh man, my favorite part was just when the guy said, "Should I take my shoes off?" And he went, "I don't give a shit."
Yeah.
Put this fucking helmet on.
Okay, next one.
Now listen here, Rio. If you ever say that again, I'll rip your fucking head off and shit down your neck, okay? Yeah, okay.
He just said, "Yeah, okay."
Oh, man.
What the fuck?
And this is a real dub. This is really what they put out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
man.
That's the most shocking part. And the final one from the Devilman is basically, let me just find it.
Bullshit. Why don't you just shut up and get on with it? Try this for size, bitch! Fuck me! If each lost an arm, I guess we're even.
Pray not, Devilman. My lost arm is just up above you.
Damn you to hell, Devilman.
It's just
Oh,
horrendous voice
jeez.
acting from start to finish, to be honest.
Mate.
There's nothing to say for that. That was just terrible.
I do have something to say, but I think I'd have to play my clips after, like, in a bit, to just so we can compare and I can say the bit that I need to say.
Yeah. And to be honest, right, those aren't the worst clips I have. So I'll
Because I have some bad ones as well on me.
yeah.
I think I have
I'll
two
let
bad
Russell do
ones,
some, and
but
then
yeah,
I'll play
Russell,
the
you
other
do some.
I have
first.
nothing as bad as that. Nothing I have is as bad as that. I mean, there's one thing that I don't know. It's the thing is, I have one that's really funny because it's an English dub in a Japanese anime. So it's actually in Japanese,
Right.
but the guy is an English voice actor that they hired to do a clip in this anime.
Hey, what the fuck? You got a fucking problem? I'll pound the living shit out of you, you dumbass freaky tourist.
Okay, so you heard that, right? You heard that part. Just
That's a
guess
meme,
what the
yo.
character looks like.
I don't know, some
He's a
like
white guy.
normal, yeah.
It's a huge black guy. He's supposed to be Mr. He's a guy who's designed to look like Mr. T.
What the hell?
Huge, muscular. He has like 5 necks. That's how muscular he is, and that's how he spoke.
He speaks like
Some steroid beast,
your
and he speaks like a
regular
normal
white
Bro,
man.
He speaks like he works in Sainsbury's or Tesco's or
Yeah.
something, man. Like, they just pulled some random guy off the street in Japan. They were like, "Listen, we need a voice actor ASAP to read this
That's a
English scene."
Costco worker from America. Straight
Bro,
up.
I don't even know what to
I
say.
wouldn't be
like,
surprised, if that's the actual case. They just pull someone random. Like,
I feel like they just
you.
found a random
We need
dude.
you.
They were
They
like,
have
"Oh,
to
look,
have.
an American tourist. Just bring him in real
Yeah,
quick. He can just be
they
this
have to have done that.
beefy black guy."
Because the guy didn't even try to act. He was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna be
Hey,
that,
I'll
that
beat the
Costco
shit
white
out of
guy.
you, man.
He sounded like he would lose in a fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought he was losing, to be honest.
He doesn't sound intimidating at all. It's like the guy who says, "I'll beat you up," and then gets beat up instead.
Yeah, well, that's
Exactly.
basically what would have happened. I think
Holy
the
shit.
Japanese guy that he picked up, it goes on to be more manly sounding than him. That's the funny thing.
God.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you're from Japan and you've never heard English in your life, you probably wouldn't know that he doesn't sound like a strong man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like they probably
really
listen to
doesn't.
it and they're like, "Oh, whatever."
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like one other anime which was kind of infamously known to have like shit dubbing was One Piece, and specifically they had this
Oh,
dubbing
man.
like called Four Kids, so it's like Four Kids Company.
Oh,
or
dude,
whatever
but the
group.
but the Four Kids opening is fire.
Yeah,
The
so I think
openings
the,
are fine.
The opening,
but
the opening was kind
voice
of like
acting.
a lot of people thought, yeah, it's quite sick. A lot of people thought, actually no. So it was like a mixed feeling. But I'll show you this clip, right? It's basically Sanji versus Pearl. So it happens up pretty early in the actual anime. And yeah, like I want to hear your thoughts.
What is that?
Fire! Pearl power! Blast them all! Sorry, bros, but no one can wipe out the Pearl when he's in a scorching shell of protection. That fool!
Yeah. So that was your
Who the fuck was
surfer dude.
Sanji?
Oh, so Sanji will be coming soon. But that
Oh.
was basically the enemy, and he just sounds like a surfer dude, bro. Like he
So
literally just like
stupid.
come out of California. All right, let me just show you Sanji.
The thing is, I can't even chill on it too much because I watched Four Kids. I watched the One Piece Four Kids dubbed when I was younger. So I like when I hear this, it just sounds like something I
Childhood.
watched when I was a kid. Yeah. So I can't even talk that much shit about it.
All right, now Sanji's coming. Okay.
I won't let you burn down this restaurant.
That's Sanji.
Yeah.
Then that's the California dude.
fuck?
Yeah. So it's a bit wild.
Yeah.
Can you play Sanji one more time, please?
Yeah, hold on. He's coming.
Please.
Yeah.
You think that a chef is afraid
Oh,
of a couple of flames?
fuck.
Yo, he sounds
Hey,
fucking
yeah.
stoned. He sounds stoned.
Bro, no, he
Yo.
just sounds like a New York Italian guy.
He really does. They took. Oh man.
Hey,
that
let me get a
just-
sausage and mushroom pizza.
That ruins Sanji's
You can't burn down my
character
restaurant.
so much. Like that's just not Sanji, man. That. Yeah. No. Four
Sounds
Kids.
like the
I
cake
think
boss.
Four Kids has brought us some of the worst dubs.
But you don't realize it when you're a kid.
Ever.
Like
Yeah.
you don't get it. It's like looking
I
back
never
now.
watched One Piece in dubs ever.
Oh, okay.
But I watched Pokemon in dubs, and it was shit because I knew what the original sounded like because I watched it in sub in Austria, and my god, both of these anime they did such a bad job in dubbing. Because
See, for me, I love the Pokemon dub. Because that's what I
I've
grew
never
up on.
heard
shit.
the Pokemon Japanese, to be honest. I can't imagine Ash speaking Japanese for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Pokemon dub is it's really bad.
Oh yeah, I know it's bad, but it's got
horrible. And there was that one point. Oh, I need to play you guys a couple clips before I can get to that point. But they also in Pokemon, they completely ruined the fact that these kids are Japanese, right? And there's this one bit in like early on in Pokemon where Brock is having onigiri, right? And do you know what they call the onigiri in the Four Kids? They call it donuts.
Jam donuts.
Jam
donuts,
jelly
I
jam
remember.
donuts.
Bro,
What the
those are-
fuck is that? These kids, they're not American. Like, what are you Americanizing this shit? And there's so much censoring and like in the Four Kids versions that it just blows my mind. I'll play you guys the clip of the onigiri because I've got a clip which has the English and the Japanese side by side. and you can hear the voice acting is also like so different
All right.
in terms of acting. I'll like play it out now.
And just before you play it,
Yeah.
I think with stuff like Pokemon, its main target audience is kids, right? So I think when we watched it, we didn't even know, what was good and what was
Yeah.
bad. And I think like once you look back at it, then oh, that was pretty shit. Because even I can say like that voice acting, even before I've heard what you're gonna show, I know it's gonna be shit.
I feel like the reason why 4Kids did that is because they were trying to market it as the cartoon. Way too much as a cartoon. So these kids need
Yeah.
to sound like real kids. It needs to be kid friendly and all this shit. But that's not the point of anime. The anime has its own flavor. You shouldn't censor this shit for American or Western kids. Why you the things that we show on TV here, they censor in Asia because we have so much like explicit stuff on our TV, and you're censoring a cartoon. Like, how does that make any sense? But I'll quickly play out the onigiri clip to you guys, and you can hear the difference.
You look kind of down, Ash. Huh? Have a
Misty.
donut. That always cheers me up.
Waifu.
Pika pika.
These donuts are great. Jelly-filled are my favorite.
Rock.
Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
Legend. He's right. When did you ever get sad eating a jelly-filled donut?
But this is the Japanese one.
Spitting fire.
You'll be able to hear the difference
It's the
in
truth.
quality of voice acting as well, and kind of emotions that the voice actors portray the characters.
サトシ。お、ま、おにぎり食べて元気出せば。ピカピカ。
丸いのは梅干し。
ピカピカ
三角のは昆布だぞ。いい昆布が手に入ったからな。
Yo, that Pika Pika was a
Yeah.
bit monotone for
But
me. I'm not gonna lie.
To be honest, I don't think they changed the Pikachu voice actor.
No, there's a lot of people that are able to, I think, even now, able to do a really good Pikachu. So,
Yeah.
I think they might have, but it's Pikachu,
Okay,
so they
I
might
can-
not
I can
have
see-
needed.
I can see the difference between Ash. Misty sounded weirdly similar, even though she was speaking in Japanese.
she sounded like an aunt, to be honest.
Misty
She sounded weirdly similar.
actually in English, Misty is pretty good.
Yeah, she has a pretty good voice
Yeah.
actress.
But Ash has, oh my god. And this comes to the point where I think a lot of these main characters have the same actor acting, and it's the same like kind of grandma style cackly voice that these English dubs have for these characters. Because Luffy has the same type of voice in the English dub as Ash in the English dub. This cackly grandma, like really annoying child who you just want to punch in the face because his voice is so fucking annoying. And
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, I have an anime that I watched where the main character sounds nothing like that.
Okay.
But he's also a kid. But let me just explain to you why I had to watch this in dubbed. So I was watching the anime is Elfin Lied, Elfin Lead.
Elfin
however
Lead,
you
I
want to
think.
pronounce
Elfin
it.
Lead.
Yeah, and it's a legendary or a kind of a cult classic anime. A lot of people really like it. It was really popular, and it's one of the most gory anime of its time. I think it was. It had a lot of shock factor when it came out, and it was a really really violent anime, and people weren't used to it at the time. So I really wanted to watch it for quite a long time, and it came out on Netflix a couple of years ago, and I was like, okay, perfect. I have a Netflix account. Like, why not watch it? And it they only had dubbed, so there you couldn't watch subbed, and I
It's not a
don't
good
like
sign.
to, and it wasn't on other streaming services that I pay for like Crunchyroll, etc. So I don't watch anime on illegal streaming sites. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just watch the dubbed. I'm gonna just sit through this,
Right.
okay, and just listen to what I had to put up with. It got to the point where I actually just didn't watch it until it eventually came out in subbed. I literally couldn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
Knowing that you'll hurt people. There's already too much in my life that I regret. I want to put a stop to the bloodshed.
Okay, so
What the
that
hell?
is after she kills like 200 fucking people. She kills like 200 people, and that is the maximum emotion this guy has the whole show.
It only
This
sounds like
point-
one of my friends. It honestly sounds like one of my friends.
Bro,
So
this is the
shit.
most like emotional part that he does. This is the most emotion he gets in the whole anime. And that is what he sounds like. So just imagine the parts of the anime where he's not being emotional.
Horrendous. Honestly,
That's
horrendous.
that. I just feel like the some of the voice actors that they get in the dubs, they don't get proper voice actors or
Oh,
people who put enough effort into it
Yeah.
because it's the anime and whatnot.
This is someone's nephew. Someone's nephew was
Exactly.
like, I want to be in an anime.
Family
Yeah.
Put me in an
connections.
anime.
Yeah. Yo,
Like-
like just on your point, Ramen, have you seen Ghost Stories?
No,
Oh
I've
my
never.
God.
So
I don't know what that is.
I saved this one for last, right? But I definitely think none of these guys are voice actors or voice actresses. Okay, so
Yeah,
this is
for
honestly
sure.
probably the worst. So yeah, we'll talk about it, but I'll show you some clips first. Okay.
Go on.
All right, get ready. Okay, because this is pretty horrendous.
When this bitch kicks, I'm moving to Vegas.
There's nothing to be afraid of, Hachan. Monsters only get evil if we fight Republicans, and we're not old enough to vote.
Like Republicans.
Such brave, strong, handsome men. Have you accepted Jesus as your personal savior?
No, I'm Jewish.
I just want to make sure that you're saved. I am, and ever since I was saved, I've had the gifts. And I can sense this place is haunted. We can't leave Kaya still.
I don't care about your cat. He's probably dead.
Kaya's a very special cat. Kaya just showed up on the day of our mother's funeral. Our dead mother? You feel bad now? I can only hope she knew about Jesus. Principals always look like lesbians.
What?
Mom? No, it can't be.
What is that?
Well, she looks like... Careful. No, that picture. When I volunteered at the wonderful Exodus homosexual conversion camp, I met this woman who looked a lot like that lesbian, woman. By any chance, you don't remember what her name was? Kayako? That's our mother. What?
It's so fucking crazy, and I
Bro,
feel like
what is
like
this?
some of the stuff that happens in this anime is definitely not like something we can show like on the podcast. But if you do have time, go and watch it.
Oh, there's a really bad clip that I'm thinking of where the kid's talking about his pajamas.
Yeah, don't say it. But I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you some more. Okay.
I just feel like
What are you kids doing here? School's over. Go home, you silly. Oh, nice cat.
I was like, go home, you sillies. All right. Just two more clips. Okay. Just getting it up.
What? Ketchero, what are you retarded?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
Now we'll never find out who the ghost is. I hope to God you're adopted.
It's so deep.
Too full of yourselves. Remember, if it wasn't for me, your friend would be headlining in heaven. Or according to born again Betty, hell, since after all he is Jewish.
Oh my God.
You. What do you want?
Thanks a lot.
Huh? I think she's right. You are retarded.
What,
Holy
bro?
shit.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, why do they all sound the same in English dubs? Like the bad ones are really bad, but when you get a really good dub, it's super good. There's no middle for English dubs.
You know what? I agree with that. I think they're either amazing or really bad. But sometimes there's certain characters that work really well, even though it's overarchingly bad. So in the My Hero Academia one, All Might sounds terrible, and Bakugo
English,
sounds pretty
right?
good. Todoroki sounds pretty good. Yeah, in English.
Yeah.
And Mineta sounds amazing in English.
Oh.
Like his character
Yeah.
is the best voice ever to fit his character.
Just
So sometimes it can just be certain characters that are terrible.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
before you go to that, this is the final clip I want to show you of Ghost Stories, and yeah, I think you can already tell how shit it is. But here we go.
Moshi moshi? Hello. I'm sorry to call you at this hour. Can I speak to Tomomi?
Tomomi? Ain't no Tomomi girl living here, so what?
Get your crackhead ass into some rehab. I ain't got time
What?
for bullshit.
I
Mother... Shinobu, you don't look so good.
Run! She's a ghost and a bitch!
What the I need wait. So there's a okay. Oh, fucking hell. I'm gonna need to watch this to
Yeah, it's
understand.
pretty
Bro,
crazy.
it's crazy. This anime is
Yeah.
famous for being the worst, like one of the worst dubbed animes
Yeah,
of all
but
time.
to be honest, right, like obviously it's horrendous and parent advisory and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like it's a work of art because you know how bad it is and like the shit that comes up. Like if you watch it now, it'll probably just make you laugh more than
you know,
anything.
But bro, the thing is, like, it doesn't sound like that. It's not like that in Japanese.
you know the character.
So why did they voice it like that?
You know the character that says there's no whatever the fuck the other girl's name is. Is that
Yeah.
character what I think the character is? Is the character the same as what the voice kind of represents the character as, or is the character Japanese? Tala,
Character's
do you know?
Japanese. Character's Japanese.
Yeah.
I don't want to come off as like putting stereotypes on people and whatnot, but I think you guys are getting what I'm trying to say.
I don't know
Without
why
me- without me
they
saying
wrote
it?
that script for her. I have no idea why they gave that to
Why
her.
does she sound like that when she's Japanese? Do you kind of understand what I'm trying to get at without actually explicitly saying it? Because I don't feel comfortable saying it. I don't want to put a tag on people who
Yeah.
possibly come from
Yeah.
a certain people
Well,
and they sound like
I think
that. Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
yeah. I think
She's Japanese, so
regardless-
why the fuck does she sound like that type of American person?
Yeah.
Like
I know
what
you
that
mean.
makes like no fucking sense whatsoever.
Yeah. But I
It's
think
so
regardless
stupid.
of it, like Ghost Stories is known for like that level of shit dubbing. So I think it was just pretty funny to like just bring up. But like
feel-
in general, I think it paints more of a picture of why voice actors are so important, and having
Yes.
voice actors and good voice actors is like crucial to the anime that you're making to like display the story as well as to display the complexity of the character. Because obviously, if the voice actor is shit, like you're gonna have a bad time. Like no one's
gonna
gonna
have a
really
bad
be
anime.
interested. Yeah, no one's gonna be interested
Yeah.
in seeing what happens. It's just gonna be seen as a joke of an anime. So I think like the main goal of this was to just show you the good stuff and the shit stuff. So
And there's a lot of bad stuff.
there's a lot of bad English dubs, but I feel like Japanese in my opinion, because I've watched a lot. I just mainly watch anime in Japanese anyways in subtitles. One of my favorite, I would say all time ensemble voice actor casts is from One Piece, hands down. In my opinion, that is. I think they have one of the best ensemble cast of characters with each character having the perfect voice actor behind them. Like Luffy's character that is
Are you
played
talking dubbed or subbed?
subbed, like
Okay.
actual Japanese, the original stuff, not dubbed. Because I don't know many dubbed ones, anyways. I haven't watched a lot of anime in dubbed. I've watched most of mine in sub. So the lady who voices Monkey D. Luffy, whose name is Mayumi Tanaka, like she did such a great job that it's an iconic voice. You will know that it's Luffy
Yeah, that's true.
wherever you hear his voice. And she also actually did Krillin in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, mad.
She was the voice for Krillin from like all of the Dragon Ball Z onwards universes from when Krillin was obviously first introduced. And her voice like defines Luffy. And a lot of the voices in One Piece really define the characters, like makes the characters stand out as their own characters rather than being a kind of side character, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like one of my favorite bits of Luffy's standout character like bits is where he sings the Baka song when they're in Skytopia. I don't know if any of you guys have. I mean, Tala, you haven't watched it, have you?
no, I'm just reading, so I don't.
Russ,
really know
have
too
you
much.
watched it?
I don't think I got to Skytopia. I pretty much, I watched episodes when my friends were watching episodes, but I'm not a massive One Piece fan. The only character I love is Tony Chopper. That's basically it.
Right. So I'll just play you guys like a clip of the sub,
Okay.
so the original and the dub of the Baka song. And One Piece was also dubbed by 4Kids, by the way.
Yeah.
So One Piece, which is a shonen anime, had so much censoring in the dub. It's crazy. Like there was sound bits that were cut out in the 4Kids versions, as well as so much of the script that was changed to cater to children specifically, because obviously 4Kids is a kids channel, right? But I just never got understood, because One Piece is a shonen anime. It's targeted at young adults who would get these jokes, and it's not specifically for kids. But like, I'll play you guys the two clips. It's the difference is unbelievable to me, at least.
Okay.
I'll play the Japanese one first, and then I'll play the English one.
南の島はあったけ
I'm sure the dub is going to be terrible.
Yeah. What the fuck is this?
ヤギヤギなのかどこだ
So like, when I first heard this, when I first watched it, I was cracking up, because he's such a carefree, funny character, and the singing is so carefree, and he's just like, yeah, you know, whatever, I'm just gonna sing my song, I'm in my own space, and it's so funny. But when I heard
Man was straight vibing.
Yeah, exactly. But when I heard the English version, I was just like, why did you have to go ahead and ruin this so much? And it's just, and
please,
you will
play it.
hear Luffy's voice, and I'm telling you, he sounds exactly like Ash Ketchum in the dub, like so
Shout
similar.
out to my boy Ash.
Oh, the islands in the south are warm, and their heads get really hot. They grow up pineapples, they grow up coconuts, and they're morons.
Oh, wow.
A goat? Was that a goat?
Yo, you actually just gave me memories I forgot I had. I forgot what Luffy sounded like in the English dub.
Yeah. Yo, it sounded
Horrible.
like he was trying to take a shit, and it was just a struggle.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds
Maybe
so
that's
forced.
what he was doing.
They sound so forced in the older animes.
That
the
actually
English
does
dubs.
sound like Ash.
Yeah,
You're
right?
right.
Like very forced, hoarse kind of voice that they put on.
It does kind of sound like he's trying to go for the Japanese voice though, because Luffy's voice does kind of have that like hoarse character to it in Japanese.
It does, but I feel like there's a bit of a difference. It
think
has
he
to be
tried to
something
do
with
it.
technique. They're both women, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, it's women.
Yeah.
Mad.
He's played
Shout out to the
in
ladies.
both by female voice actors, which in a way kind of makes sense. If the first one's going to be played by a woman, the second one you'd want to be played by a woman as well. But you know, like sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, there might be some kind of like vocal range as well, potentially, or it just better
Yeah,
suiting
well, I
for the
think
character.
a lot of shonen male characters are voiced by women typically because men can't get their
More
voice
useful.
high pitched enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense. But yeah, it's pretty bad.
You could
Yeah,
hear the difference, and you could kind of, even with the words that he was saying in English, was very like catered towards children, so that there's no kind of offense given to you know, so kids don't learn any bad things in a way. They really kind of
It's not-
4Kids
it's not
really
like
tones
that
it down.
bad.
I've watched a couple episodes and I felt it was really toned down. Even there's bits of sound as well that they removed. So I think there was like punches, and you know when Luffy does his knuckle stuff, they removed that in the 4Kids.
Too violent, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So
Bad
you know
habits.
when he like clenches his
It's just
fist,
weird.
and there's
Yeah,
a
it
knuckle
is.
sound that comes out when Luffy like clenches his fist to kind of like get ready to fight. They completely removed that.
I don't know, man. I
in
think
4Kids.
Yeah.
it's just one of those mysteries, right? That
Yeah.
like we'll never understand what was going through their head when they made this.
Yeah, I feel like they were just probably just trying to play it as safe as possible.
As safe as
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
New,
They wanna
new-
rock the
new kind
boat.
of demographic that they're going for. Like they don't know how it's going to work because it's in the West. So they
Yeah.
were just like, oh, we'll just cut these out because it might just be more appealing towards the demographic here. Yeah, but we'll
I
never
guess.
really know.
Yeah.
And I'm out of clips. And
I have a quick
I have a
question
point.
though.
Yeah.
What's your
Was
question?
there any voice actors that you guys thought, you know, their voice was very distinct and you would be able to recognize it in a different anime?
Yeah.
because I definitely have one person in mind who I instantly
What, in English or
recognize.
Japanese?
No, in Japanese.
Yeah.
Because I never watched it, and I don't watch in English, so I wouldn't necessarily know
Yeah.
myself. But I know one character that I have, one voice actor that I have in mind, who I instantly
Yeah.
recognize.
Who?
Do you have any? Do you guys have any?
Oh, I have one or two now that I think of it. Yeah.
And you, Ross?
Yeah, I mentioned mine at the beginning of the
Oh,
episode, to be
okay.
honest.
Yeah, my one was the voice actor who played Zoro, Roronoa Zoro from One Piece. His name is
Yeah, he has a very distinct
yeah,
voice.
his name is
Even I know
Kazuya Nakai, and like because I watched Blue Exorcist, and
yeah, Blue
I
Access
quite
is
enjoyed
fire.
it, and instantly I recognized his voice when the person he plays started talking, because it was
Yeah.
so distinct. So he plays Ryuji Suguro, or they call him Bon in his friends call him
Yeah, he
Bon in
plays
the
Bon.
anime.
Yeah,
So he
yeah,
plays
yeah,
Bon,
yeah.
and it's so like you immediately you can recognize the guy's voice. It's so distinct. Like
Yeah.
And if
these
you
are one
know
of the
Bon
ones.
and Zoro, they're quite similar characters. So it's like
Yeah.
what Talis said at the beginning. They usually get, I don't know, more than in regular acting, you get cast type. I think
Yeah.
in voice acting, and you play very similar characters, or your tone, you make your voice
Yeah, they're
be
kind of
that type of character.
boneheady, kind of like very masculine.
Yeah,
Even though Bon is actually very clever,
yeah,
his look and his stylization of the character is very boneheady. The
yeah,
same
which is why
as
he
Zoro.
works the voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like when I heard it, it was I was like, wow, holy shit! I know who this guy is. It's the guy who plays Zoro, and I did research on it,
Yeah.
and I found out it
It's
was
just
really
another
cool.
sign that we've been watching anime for too long.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I was gonna say,
recognized what's his name, the guy who plays Batman,
Which
actor,
one?
the good Batman trilogy before Ben Affleck
Christian Bale?
became Christian Bale. I recognized Christian Bale's voice in the dubbed version for Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I had no
oh
idea he
yeah,
was
he
in
was
it.
in
He
that,
plays
wasn't he?
Hal. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Hal, and I recognized immediately. So it goes
Yeah.
the
In
same
some of
kind
those
of
voices,
way.
right?
Yeah, it's just the
And
voice. Yeah,
yeah, I think for my ones, I think I mentioned it already, but it's Daisuke Uno.
Oh,
So he
yes,
plays
you did.
Jotaro from JoJo,
Yeah, yeah.
Irwin Smith, and I think the other one is Hiroshi Kimawa. So he plays Trafalgar Law in One Piece. But
Oh my
the ones that I
God, he has such a
actually
good voice.
recognize him from is Levi from or Levi from Attack on Titan.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
same
no
same
way.
character. Yeah, and he also Russell. He plays Yato from Noragami, the
Oh,
main
no
god.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yato is such a sick character.
And if you're a Kuroko no Basket fan, he plays Akashi, the final
Oh my
kind of
God,
boss.
now that you mention
Oh,
it, I
sit
can hear it
down.
all.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Emperor's Eye.
They all sound the same.
yeah. He's
Bow
got that
down.
cool type, character.
Yeah,
Yes, he
That's
does.
what he gets cast as.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now that you mentioned it, I can totally hear Akashi's voice, Trafalgar Law, and Levi all as
You-
one person now.
Yeah, just
Holy
merge them all
elated
together.
ramen.
Yeah.
The only reason why I couldn't kind of figure it out is because these animes are kind of separated
Yep.
in a long run. Whereas One Piece, you're hearing Zoro's voice all the time, and then
Oh,
Yeah.
it still runs
he's
through.
Trafalgar Law, not Zoro.
No, as in like the guy who plays Zoro.
Oh, okay.
So you hear Zoro throughout, and One Piece is still going while Blue Exorcist came out. So, like, I was more used to those voices, whereas the Trafalgar Law's voice you don't hear as much, and then you hear Levi's voice, and then Akashi there was a different kind of time that it came out, so it was all different periods, So I never
Yeah.
put them together.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, just to wrap up, I know that we bashed a lot on subs and dubs, or dubs specifically, but there are some good English dubs. I know people that only watch an English dubbed. Just to shout out a few good ones, or ones that I think you should try before you say you're never going to watch dubbed. Code Geass is good dubbed. Samurai Champloo, in my opinion, is better dubbed. Cowboy Bebop is better dubbed, in my opinion.
That I agree. Yeah.
There's
Dragon Ball Z.
more. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is another one. I mean, these are like quite old and classic ones, but I think Code Geass is one that most people don't realize is so good. in dubbed, and I personally enjoy it more dubbed. I like the voice actors more.
Okay.
But it's not like every single dubbed is terrible. There are good ones, and they're getting better and better as time goes on, because English voice actors don't want to be laughing stocks anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even I was kind of saying that some of the My Hero Academia voice acting is bad, but the vast majority of them aren't too bad. I think Midoriya is particularly nasally and nerdy sounding.
Oh man,
and
I
some
do
of the
not
other
like his
side
English.
characters are pretty bad.
I do not
But,
like his English voice.
Yeah, some of them are pretty good. So I think overall, there's a trend for it to start getting better.
I think
For
the
sure.
industry itself is getting better, because now that anime is so much more popular around the world, a lot more people generally want to become voice actors. So I think they potentially have more talent coming in
Right.
for the dubs as well. But yeah, I think my last point is, voice acting is incredibly important for an anime.
For
It
sure.
can make or break a show.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
I completely agree with that, to be honest.
Okay, I think that's it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, we just want to say thanks again for listening to our podcast, and showing the support. It really means a lot to us. Yeah. So follow us on our Instagram and our Twitter. Check us out on YouTube as well, if you listen to podcasts on YouTube or any other streaming platforms that you listen to. And we'll catch you guys again same times next week. Bye.
Peace.
Catch you next week.